I'd like to start out this morning by just welcoming our guests from Inglewood. We've got our new president from Inglewood, Joe Abbott, right in the back there. You're going to get the chance to meet all the mission members. But back in April, we did a mission trip to Jamaica, and the impact was to work with what we call a second chance school. And you have to know a little bit about the school system in Jamaica to understand what the challenges are, but Angela's going to explain that. So Angela Hay here is from Jamaica. She's the headmaster of the HEI school, and she'll be giving us a good background on what's happening there. But I'm going to start out just with introducing. Remember, this is Charlotte Bennett right here. Mission member Eddie Haddon, John DeBall, Florence Mackey, and also Abby and Heather were part of the mission trip too.
Hey.
So they'll get to speak to that. Everyone is involved. So just a brief geography lesson. This is Jamaica right here. So anyways, this is Jamaica right here. We flew into Montego Bay right here, and then the Grill is a very kind of famous kind of beach resort area, but we were in Lucia right here. Lucy. There we go. So anyway, so I've got the background. I'm going to have John step up here. John DeBall is going to tell us a little bit about the history of the school and the connections that Inglewood Club.
Yeah, I had a friend who had a house in Jamaica, and I went down about 10 years ago, and he introduced me to the school, which started by Angela, and so I've been involved ever since, and honorary member of the board every time I go down having board meetings. So I was really impressed with it, and I introduced it to my club. My club has provided a couple of grants in the form of scholarships for students. And so I just wanted to introduce the idea to everybody else. And it's a great school.
Yeah, great. Thank you, John. So I'm going to have Eddie Haddon come up. Eddie, very experienced, wonderful man, got great things to share, but he had a special message for the kids to share. So Eddie, if you wouldn't mind, I just want you to just kind of set the tone a little bit.
Greetings, I'm Eddie Haddon, and first let me thank John and Abby and Heather for joining us on this mission, because they added immeasurably to it. I say that not just because I'm here, but we said this a number of times, especially the young ladies who are ahead in the school this year. I have been the chair of the International Projects Committee for the Inglewood Club since its inception about 3 years ago. So this is my 4th international humanitarian mission, 3 of them with Rotary. Knowing that we were going to this special school, I knew that the kids there were going to want to know and be encouraged. They're going to want to know, how do I get through school, and how do I get a good job so I can have a decent life? So before I went down, I sent up to Angela, the headmaster, a list of what I call 10 pathways to success. And I won't take the time to share them all with you, but the first one was to treat everybody the way you want to be treated. And that if you just follow that one rule, which is called the golden rule, because if you follow that one, you will automatically follow all the other virtues by simply doing for others what you would want done to yourself. I share with them the fact that if you want a job, or if you want anything from somebody, you really never go asking. You always go offering to help them achieve their goals. And that way they're going to be more inclined to help you to reach your own goals. That's especially true when you're looking for a job. First thing you do is research your job, find out who owns it, who manages it, what So I shared with them the fact that critical thinking is asking and answering questions which lead to solutions to issues. And out of all the questions, who, what, where, when, how, and why, the most important one is why. Because why is the human question, the only one that only humans can ask. And it turns your mind into a kind of perpetual motion time machine, because every time you ask the question why and you get an answer, it takes you back further in time, closer to the origin of the problem, and better able to understand it. It's perpetual motion because every time you answer the question why, it brings up at least one other question. Why? And if your mind is always working perpetually, it's like any other muscle in your body, it gets better and better. It's probably figuring out how to ask and answer the question why. Another thing that I was able to bring there on a mission with the Maywood Club to their school with the Maasai in Kenya a few years ago. We helped to rebuild a fence that had been broken down by elephants trying to get to the gardens that they plant on the school property. And that experience of putting sweat equity in with the students there was transformative. And so in Jamaica, we helped to paint, helped have the students who joined them in painting the wash the outside of their school. So it gives them the feeling, it's a bond that's very, very different in that we're not there just as colonists telling them what to do. We're willing to put in our own sweat equity on their behalf as well. So it was a wonderful, marvelous trip. I want to thank you for your contribution to it, and you'll hear some more interesting things from the travelers.
Thank you, Eddie. So that was a great background to sort of the idea behind what we wanted to offer to the school. So I'm going to have our mission members stand up and come over with me right here. And I'm going to start this side.
Oh,
going the right way.
okay, everybody.
We landed it. This is at the airport in Jamaica, all one piece. But that's our group, right? But this is a school in Jamaica. This is the HEI school, the Hanover Educational Institute, and just want to give that a setting. And then I'm going to have each member kind of just introduce themselves and just tell us what we did.
Now, just a background on the school. The school operated without its own building for quite a while, going from place to place wherever they could get free rent. Now, my friend who I visited gave them some land, and so now then they got a grant from the foundation called Food for the Poor, which was building schools in Jamaica, and so now they have a school. And so it's really growing and becoming stable, but we still don't have enough money to pay the director, the principal, the salary. She's still been working as a volunteer, and her family supports her in doing that.
Okay, so what John would say is each mission member kind of brought a certain type of skill or gift to give the kids. John didn't mention, but he is a world-class trumpet player and has worked on Broadway for like the last 20 years or so.
Well, about 35 years.
About 35 years. But he's been very instrumental.
Very instrumental in our.
Yes, he's been very instrumental and really kind of sparking kids' imagination with horns and so he helps with calling revelry right here. Okay, moving on. Florence, you can introduce yourself real quick.
Okay, well, I'm trying to put a little personal touch into this of my experience. I introduced myself to the students as a mother, a grandmother, a nurse, a cook, a cookbook writer. What did I skip? There was something else. But anyway, my point, travel. I was a travel agent also, I had a travel agency. However, my point to them was that you can be anything that you want to be at any time in your life, and it should never stop. Education is the beginning, and it leads to your future. And so I had another very touching experience, one of the students, who we chatted but never really said anything until the last moment when we were finishing our final lunch. And she confided in me, and she said that she was so encouraged by our presence that she knew that she was going to get to her goal. And I think that alone made my trip very worthwhile. And I wish that all of you could experience this. So think about it the next time we're out to Jamaica.
Good job. Good job.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We all have in Rotary different passions, and I was able to bring together my passion for global justice and doing peace projects for Rotary, both in New Jersey and New York and abroad. So what I did is I brought with me to Jamaica one of the peace projects that connects with International Peace Day. And in talking to the kids, I wanted them to take away two things. This flyer is on your desk. I can email it to you as well. I had chosen 4 peace icons. Had I known I was going to Jamaica, I would have thrown a Jamaican in, but I had these 4. And we just talked about the idea that there was personal courage, and people can step up at different times and make this difference in the world. So on the flyer are these 4 people. I would remind you that Monday was Malala's birthday, and coming up on the 18th is Mandela's birthday. But what I wanted them to know is that on the back was this list of things that you could do for International Peace Day. And they talked about some different things. But on the 21st of September, all over the world, including Wyckoff, New Jersey, it's International Peace Day, and you could do an art project, a march, a play, a writing, a poetry slam. There's a list of 20 samples that are there, and you can do 21. And I told them how in America, corporate responsibility, Ben & Jerry's is here. And if you ask Ben & Jerry's, they give you free ice cream for International Peace Day. So Angela knew where to know Ben & Jerry's in Lucy, but she went and got ice cream, and a few days later at lunch, we had ice cream with the understanding that International Peace Day was something that they're going to do something about this September. Angela's working with her Rotary to do a project in September, and we met with her Rotary. And I left with the idea you can't solve the big problem, but working with peace, which is one of Rotary's 6 goals, if you work grassroots from the bottom and everybody does a little something, we're on our way.
That's right. Good job. Good job.
So I'll pitch a little bit out of order here, but this is Eddie talking right there. You wear this t-shirt very well. This
The
is
group bought me that T-shirt since I led the group, and
Yes,
I wear it.
one of the pluses of visiting places.
Bob Marley.
Okay, then Abby, can I come up real quick, please? So, Abby, my daughter, Heather, her best friend, going to college, but they had a great spring break and really made a difference in what they're doing. If you guys want to say something about your interactions with kids and what you were able to impart to them.
Yeah, so when we went to Jamaica, our primary goal was for us to interact with the kids and talk to them about our experiences growing up here in New Jersey, and then also in return we got to hear about what it was like for them growing up in Jamaica. And it was kind of an amazing experience in that we're all university teenagers. We all can relate about something on some level. Like I enjoyed talking to the students about soccer, and it was really interesting, like seeing the culture that Jamaican kids live in, and it was also a beautiful country. We had an amazing time.
I think that what we lacked, the others that we went with really were able to spread some of their knowledge. Like they have much more professional knowledge, so they were able to tell about their history, their professional histories, and how they've accomplished what they have in life. Whereas we are at that point in life where we're kind of trying to figure that out on our own. So in our struggle, we also learned how they deal with things, and we were able to motivate them, and we were telling them about our goals and about our future dreams and how we wanted to accomplish all these many things in life. And I think that just the interaction enriched both of our experiences, and we made friends and we learned from each other.
Can you tell them how you showed them talents?
Yeah, so the last day we had a talent show, which was very fun. That was probably my favorite experience at the school. And they were sharing lots of their different culture, being it singing or dancing. And then they said, who danced? And I have done dance since I was like 5, but my type of dance is like ballet and more classical training. And it was very different than theirs, so I taught them some tap dance. And it was fun.
And they taught some training dancing.
Good job.
Things are a little bit out of order, but I gave kind of probably like In fact, my profession in science and research development, so I can talk to them about careers in science and technology. But one of the things that's really fun, this is really Eddie's brilliant insight. We got to do a service project, something that we're going to leave a lasting mark for the kids, but also show in Rotary we lead by example in doing. So we started out a project of painting their school, not the whole school, just the base of the school, but it's something they're going to see every day they come in. And you know, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's stinky can-doism, I don't know. We just kind of get there and do it and have fun when we do it. This is Okar right here. He's actually a visitor. He's a doctor from Myanmar who came to visit with us, with the kids. There's a group that's after we got the things painted, and then again, everyone pitched in. I mean, even some of the kids who said, well, I don't like do this type of thing. I said, yeah, you do.
You will now.
But that's the result. So with that said, I'm going to bring Angela on over, playing soccer here. I'm going to bring Angela, there's dance. I'm going to bring Angela over to speak about the school in depth.
Thank you, John. Good morning.
Good morning.
Very happy to be here. My name is Angela Hay, and I'm also a citizen of the United States. I have been living here, or lived here, from 1977 to 2000. So my work life, my education, all here in Maryland, Silver Spring, Maryland. And I returned to Jamaica in 2000 with my son, Brandon, who was 7 months. And my older boy, Robert, who's now 28, finished high school in Jamaica. He's back here now and he's in IT, doing very well. All right? Now, let me give you a little bit of, just a little background about the school. When I got home, I've never worked in education. I've always been in business. I've worked in the law profession and all of that. Never worked in business, never worked in education. But because I was forced to be in an environment with my son, I saw what Jamaica was, not as a tourist, but as a citizen going back to Jamaica. So I was seeing the real problems. And from there, I met one of the parents at the school, and she said, we need some sort of a finishing school. Finishing school, I like that. I asked her, what do you mean? She said, well, a lot of our children are not ready for the world of work. They need a little bit of shaping and tucking and that type of thing. So I looked into my own experiences. What did I bring back to Jamaica? I brought back my education, I brought back my experiences. Why can't we just have a school? That's how the whole concept came about. We had to contact the Ministry of Education. We had to do a proposal. We had to do a curriculum. We did all of that, submitted it, and we got the preliminary approval, and we launched the school in July of 2002. And we started taking registration, and we opened up in September 2002. Now, you don't want to know what we had to go through to keep the school open. We couldn't pay the rent. Hold on, we were charging a small amount of money, Jamaican money, but the kids couldn't pay the money. Or we would have parents who would tell us, well, I'm raising some chickens, wait until that batch is ready, and I would get the money, and it was just crazy. So we were threatened after 2 months. We were in court. We were in court by the landlord. My car was confiscated until I could pay back rent. I went through that. All right, so we turned to the Ministry of our former Prime Minister, Portia Simpson-Miller, who was then the Minister of Local Government. We said we need some help. We need a building. And they gave us a very wonderful old building. It had animals living in it. It was a mess, animal mess. But we cleaned it up and we made it ready. That is where we operated from for 9 years, rent-free. Not because it was rent-free, because I refused to pay the rent that they were charging, because I believe the government should have a stake in what I'm doing. So I refused. And of course we were threatened and threatened and threatened. Eventually, in 2012, when we celebrated our 10th year anniversary, we were evicted. Okay? Right after we celebrated in May, we were out on our behinds in December of 2012. So we had no school building. We had a school, because the school is in our infrastructure. Anyhow, my entire holidays were taken up with getting another building to operate. And we found a gentleman who's a returning resident like myself, who has a restaurant, and the bottom is open. When it rained, we get wet. But that's where we operated from. For another 2 years, almost 2 years, until Food for the Poor came on board and saved us with that building. And the donor is Mrs. Harriet Chapman, and she's from Atlanta. Okay? So that's who put the funds up to give us the building through Food for the Poor. Additionally, we received an agriculture program, so we have pigs and chickens and a shade house. And they started us with 10 boxes of bees, so we do agriculture. The Japanese gentleman you see there, he's from Jamaica. Jamaica came on board and strengthened the agriculture program with additional money. We have more boxes, and we now rearing bees, harvesting honey. That's HEI's foundation. We are now 14 years. We are registered with the Ministry of Education. We're also registered as a non-profit or a non-governmental organization. And we're in good standing with the Ministry of Education. We have trained approximately over 1,000 students. As you can see, these kids are, a lot of them, Kimberly, Samantha, they're from single homes. No fathers, and we take them. I mean, I just pointed out a few, but we do a lot of them. We have students who have been molested. We have what you call barren children in Jamaica, and that means both parents are here in America working on the HB2 visa program. Children are left with grandparents, and in some cases, grandparents are very young. Molestation takes place. Fathers, uncles, cousins. Yes, it's a serious issue that we have. So we have, what we're doing with the school, we have an open enrollment. We don't turn anyone back, even if they cannot pay, and we don't even charge. What we had to do, because they're not paying, we had to go into scholarship programs. That's what we're doing now. We have Rotary, we have Inglewood, we have a few private persons who sponsor children. We offer a wide range of subjects. Jamaica is set up it's very British, and each level of education you have to do exams. We take them from 15. It means right just before they finish high school and when they finish what they call the all-age schools. And how it is structured, the ones who do not do well on the grade 6 achievement test, that's leaving primary school looking for placement in the high schools. If they do not pass those exams, they are placed in an all-age environment. And they're given another 3 years to bring their academics up. If they do not do that, to take the grade 9 achievement test, then their high school days are over. There's no place to go. They're 15, they have no subjects, and they cannot get into the world of work. So we're taking them from 15 years old and older. We have mothers, we have fathers in that group that you see there. Very young. A lot of them are on the street corner. They're drinking first thing in the morning, they have a cup with alcohol, very strong alcohol, and they're doing this. They have the marijuana, and they're doing that. That's, if you come to Jamaica and I'll go through any community, you're gonna see it along the way, and I pass it every day in my community. So we take them in, we teach them academics, we also teach them empowerment. Now you heard it mentioned earlier about leadership. We do conflict resolution, we do critical thinking as well, analysis, those kind of things. We get them to understand who they are, all right? Now, here's Michelle. I want to point her out specifically. Beautiful girl. Her mom died when she was young. The mother died of AIDS. The mother had multiple children. Michelle is only 27 years old. She has 3 children already. 3 children already. She's not married, okay? She was brought in by her cousin, and she's eager, she wants to learn. She has no money. She has no father, she has no mother. So it's students like those that we deal with every day. They're knocking at our doors. We had 47 students this year. We have the capacity in the building to do 100 students, but we need additional help. Okay? And in the future, I believe that with the type of education that we're doing, it can be replicated, and we are getting requests to take this school elsewhere in Jamaica. We're not quite ready yet because we have to make it work in Hanover, but we're going to replicate it in Jamaica and possibly outside of Jamaica. It's a great, great education system. It's a great foundation. It's a great template, and I know that we're going to move it beyond the shores of Jamaica. All right? And that's it.
Angela, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So, in terms of the impacts your school can make, how much does it take to kind of save a kid per year?
You want to save Michelle? $1,000 US. And that covers her tuition, it covers transportation, it covers food. A lot of our students cannot afford lunch. They do not eat. They come the entire day, they do not eat. So we, through Food for the Poor, we got a canteen. We have someone working in the canteen to give them hot lunches. It's important. We cannot have them at school all day studying and they don't have food in their stomachs. They're not going to learn. So we give them, Food for the Poor is giving us subsidy in terms of rice and peas and those kind of things. We raise the animals, and all of that is used in the canteen to feed them.
What we're going to do, Angela wants to present a certificate to our club for appreciation for us volunteering. That was easy, but we're getting recognized for that, so that's nice. We're going to get a picture of that. Just in the interest of time, we're going to hang around and we get some more pictures to show for anyone who can stay around. But please, if you can stay, ask more questions.